this is Johnny Ray with the next episode of the Mid-South Baseball Report.
Hey folks, it's Kevin Kennedy at USA Stadium. I want to let you know about our summer. We start Memorial Day weekend. We run 8 great perfect game events here in Memphis. We have 2 Mid-South WWBAs that'll be played in June and 2 WWBAs in July. The East Championship, formerly held in Hoover, has now been moved to Memphis. We sure would like to see you at the park.
Super excited today to have Brent Rooker, 2013 graduate from ECS here in Memphis with us. Brent currently has finished his second season in the major leagues with the Minnesota Twins. Brent, appreciate you being here today.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
How's things going for you?
Going well. We're about, month and a half into the off season now, so just kind of getting back into the routine of working out every day. I'll start hitting and doing more baseball specific things next week after Thanksgiving. Just kind of get rolling and try to gear up and get ready for spring training until February.
Yeah, probably doing a lot of speed and agility training, strength training now.
Right. Getting in the weight room. I took about a week off after the season and then got back in the weight room pretty quick just to kind of make sure my body was where it needs to be before I start doing baseball things. So yeah, some speed stuff, some agility stuff, a lot of explosive training, jumping, things like that, and some strength stuff too. So I'm feeling good.
Yeah, one of the things that I've noticed, I've known you since you were 8 years old, and just kind of watched you grow physically. And one thing that I've noticed, when you graduated high school, you signed with Mississippi State, went to Mississippi State, redshirted in 2014. But you came back after that freshman year, and you looked like you'd grown 2 or 3 inches taller and gotten much thicker. That had to be a benefit to you.
Yeah, so obviously getting down there and kind of having that whole first fall of college, doing a very well thought out, well structured weight program is huge for any athlete going to college. It's going to be the first time that you're really lifting full time. In high school, I played 3 sports, so it was never really like a season where I was just exclusively working out, exclusively training, things like that. So that was the first few months I got to do that, and then obviously redshirting that spring. I didn't get to play any games, or it was for pretty limited practice time with the team as a redshirt. So we spent 4 or 5 days in the weight room every single week for really 2 straight semesters for me. And I got down there after graduating. I think my first weigh-in I was 193 that fall, and then I left to go play summer ball after the spring semester at like 215. So I put on a good 20, 25 pounds of a pretty good weight up getting in the weight room pretty consistently, and I think that played a huge part in my development as a player. Just being able to be a little bit stronger, a little more durable, a little more powerful, and that kind of continued to develop throughout college and kind of put me where I was a few years later.
Yeah, and probably didn't lose any of your athleticism by putting that weight on.
Yeah, absolutely. I was a pretty skinny kid when I got down there, so I had some room to fill out, and our strength coach Brian Neal, who was there for all four of my college years, did an unbelievable job with me. We worked hard. We put in a lot of extra effort, just making sure I stayed, kept the ability to run pretty well for a bigger guy, and then put on that weight in the right areas, and making sure I was strong where I needed to be.
Yeah, one of the things that you hit on, you said in high school you were a 3-sport athlete. No doubt you played baseball, part of a state championship team there. But you were also a basketball and a football player. How did those experiences help you just not only to mold you as a person, but also as an athlete?
Yeah, I loved all 3 in high school. Honestly, looking back, I probably tell everybody football was honestly the thing that I loved the most in high school. I'm a huge proponent whenever I get asked of kids playing multiple sports, as long as they're competitive in the sports and as long as they enjoy doing it. I think it's a huge benefit to put yourself in a variety of different competitive environments. Helps mold you as an athlete when you're familiar with different situations and different types of games and things like that. It's nothing but beneficial to you as an athlete and as a person as well. You get around a more diverse group of people playing different sports, because obviously there's going to be different people in each team. You put yourself around more people, you get to build more relationships, you get to develop yourself as a person as well as an athlete, as a player. So I'm a huge proponent of that, of kids playing multiple sports, like I said, as long as they want to and as long as they have the ability to be competitive in that sport. And I think doing that really gave me an advantage going into college. I was able to adapt to things pretty quickly. I was used to working hard in different environments, things like that. And I think it was a huge advantage to me.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's move forward a little bit to your time at Mississippi State. So you redshirted in 2014. So 2015 you're on the field, and things start coming together for you. But by the time you graduated, or by the time you finished your 2017 season, you put it all together. And I'm just gonna read this from your 2017 season. You were 2017 National Player of the Year, 2017 SEC Player of the Year, 2017 All-SEC First Team, and here's something that I think is important, 2017 SEC Academic Honor Roll. Here's your stats. Triple Crown winner in SEC. I think only the second person that's ever done this. But you hit 387 with 23 home runs and 87 RBIs. Did you play the lottery after this season? 2017 was a happy year for you.
Yeah, that year, everything just kind of clicked for me. I guess, like you said, 2015, the year I first got to play, I got limited at bats. I probably got 70, 80 at bats. Did okay, had some success. Then was, kind of built on that. Took some things I learned, improved for 2016, which was the first year I played full time. I had a good year that year. Second team All SEC, hit 310, 320, something like that with 11 homers. So I had a pretty successful year. Really went the summer ball between my sophomore and junior season, kind of knowing that I had the ability to be really good, kind of with the feeling that I was, one or two things clicking offensively away from me from being a really, really good player and being able to hit and really compete with anybody in the country. I really had that feeling, that confidence. So I worked really hard that summer. I learned a lot. I made some pretty drastic swing changes that fall. Going into my last season, and then like you said, things just kind of clicked, and I got hot and stayed hot for 3 or 4 months. Was able to put up some big numbers. It was pretty fun.
Pretty fun being in that hot zone, isn't it? One of the things that I've always been told about you is you understand the game. You understand your body, your swing. What were some of the changes that you made within your approach and your swing?
Yeah, so I was able to just kind of dive into some video, look at video of how I what my swing looked like in 2016. When I was able to have some success, not as much as I would have liked, but some, and then kind of look at videos of the best hitters in the world, right, guys in the big leagues who are doing it at the highest level, and kind of spot the differences between what I did and what they did, and then kind of spend that summer and that fall working to close that gap, right? Working to kind of make what I did look a little bit more like what they did, and kind of make the same moves that allowed them to have a ton of success. So a posture thing for me, I was able to kind of get a little bit more hinge in my hips, kind of get myself in a little bit more athletic position, a better position to move from. I was able to change my load a little bit to allow me to be more on time with more pitches more consistently. And obviously that's 90% of hitting is just being on time. So I was able to do that, which helped a ton, and kind of taking those things and taking what I learned approach-wise from being able, like 2016, seeing every arm in the SEC, right? Kind of seeing what they were going to try to do, seeing that high-level off-speed stuff and how they were going to try to get me out, and take that and formulate an approach and kind of couple that with the new swing that I had built. And those two things kind of meshed together for me that spring, and it clicked again, like I said. The results kind of spoke for themselves.
Yeah, a lot of plate discipline, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Especially you see those high-level SEC guys every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and there's no off weekends. I don't care if you're the first or the 14th team.
Right.
You're going to see high-level arms, and for you to put together that run for that length of time, that whole season was incredible. Myself, I grew up a huge Mississippi State fan since I was young, and have watched that program just build and grow. And for you to be mentioned in the same breath as Will Clark and Rafael Palmeiro, and now Jake Mangum here recently, and some of the other greats that came through there. How does that make you feel, just to know that what you did at Mississippi State was just a huge success?
Yeah, it's really cool. I think it speaks a lot to a lot of work and dedication, because I will tell you, I'll be the first to tell you that I am not the most physically talented or gifted guy. I've never been the best player as far as from a physical talent standpoint on a team that I've been on. So we do a player evaluation at the end of every fall. At the end of my first fall there, I was ranked the 19th. We had 20 position players, and I was ranked the 19th best player on the team. So I was second to last player on the team. Kind of told you can either red shirt or you can go to a JUCO and try to go that route. And I just kind of decided to wear the red shirt and work really hard and try to see what I could do. And I put in a lot of time and a lot of effort, and to kind of see what I was able to do later on in my career. I think it makes me proud of just kind of the work that I put in, because I know I got there and I wasn't ready to compete at that level. That first fall was very eye-opening for me. It was kind of like we did the first 5 or 6 scrimmages, and I kind of had to take a step back. I was like, I don't really know if I belong here. I don't know if I can hit these guys everybody here is really good and everybody here is better than me. So I either have to make a decision that I'm gonna go try to do something else, or I'm gonna stick this out. I'm gonna put in the time and the effort it takes to do this, and I made that decision, and I'm obviously incredibly happy that I did. But yeah, like you said, I don't think anybody who saw me play those first 2 years would have expected me to do what I did later on, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's an incredible story. I had no idea about that, didn't know what the story behind you redshirting was, but, for you to come all the way from the 19th ranked player, to what you accomplished, in the 2016 and 17 seasons, just incredible. So after the 2017 season, you were drafted in the first round by the Minnesota Twins. Had a few injuries that you've had to deal with, but you fought through those. You put up some really good power numbers. What's the biggest difference in leaving the SEC and now you're in pro ball? I mean, the velocity is probably equivalent, but what's the biggest difference in what you're seeing between the college and pro game?
Yeah, a lot of it, the lower level minor leagues it's very, very similar, right? High A, low A, it's very similar to what you see in the SEC.
It's just every day.
That's exactly what it is. It's just, in college you play 3 games on your weekend, you have a bad weekend, you go, 2 for 13 or whatever, you then get 2 or 3 days to kind of step back, regroup, work on something you need to work on, and maybe make an adjustment going into the next weekend series. When you get into pro ball, that just doesn't exist. And you've got 4 or 5 at bats every single night. No matter how you feel, no matter if you want those at bat or not, they're coming at you, and it's going to be an upper level SEC starter who's starting, talking about the lower levels, and then the back end of the bullpen's all going to be either a college kid or a high school kid, obviously, or a kid from the Dominican or Venezuela who's going to come and throw 97.
Right.
But no matter how you feel, no matter how your swing feels, there's no time to make huge adjustments. You just got to get in there and battle and compete, and try to work with what you've got that day, and that's the biggest difference. It's just kind of the mental grind of knowing that no matter how bad you feel in the box, you've got 5 more bats that night to try to figure it out, and there's no break for 140 games.
Yeah, well, evidently you hadn't felt really bad in the box. You progressed through the minor leagues pretty quick. As you were going through, you were part of the 2019 World Baseball Classic, representing the United States and wearing that Team USA jersey. So that means that you were a highly thought of prospect and somebody that they felt could go compete internationally. I thought that was a major a feather in your cap. How was that experience?
Yeah, that was one of the coolest experiences I've had playing baseball. We played the qualifying part of it in Guadalajara, Mexico, which was really fun. Just kind of getting to go down there and play. We played the Netherlands, we played the Dominican, and we played. I don't remember who the third team we played was. We went down there, had some success, and then from there we got to go to Tokyo, which was awesome. Spent 2 weeks in Japan. My wife got to go with me, so an off the field experience was super cool as well. Just getting 10 or 12 days down there to kind of explore Tokyo and kind of do what we wanted was a once in a lifetime chance. And obviously getting to go there, play in the Tokyo Dome, play against the Japanese national team in front of 40,000 people, play against the Korean team was awesome. We had a really good group of guys on that team, a lot of really good players who've gone and had success in the big leagues the last few years. So doing that was one of my favorite memories, baseball related, and it's something I'll always cherish for sure.
Yeah, and now advancing a year after 2019, COVID shortened year last year, but you got to make your major league debut. Kind of shortened a little bit. I think you broken bone in your hand, got hit by a pitch. But what was that first few weeks, the experience in the big leagues like?
Yeah, it was really cool. I'm not going to take anything away from it. It's obviously a little bit different than what I'd always imagined, just because of the no fans, obviously with the COVID stuff. So my parents couldn't be there, which was a little bit of a bummer. But
heartbreaker for you.
Yeah, I know that probably hurt them more than it hurt me, but it was still, accomplishing your dream like that, and accomplishing a goal you've always had for yourself was really cool. I got up, I got to play 7 games. I hit well, I had success, and then I got hit in the forearm, broke my forearm, and kind of put me out for the rest of the year there. But it was just kind of the fulfillment of a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication, a lot of time and hours and sacrifice spent. So it made it all worth it for sure.
Yeah. So you're 26, 27 years old now.
27, yeah, just 27.
Yeah. So you're kind of coming into the prime of your career. You come to this past season, kind of bounce back and forth between AAA and the major leagues. I know there was a trade that was made before the trade deadline, which kind of opened some doors for you to get back to the big leagues and give you a chance to play more often. What does your future look like in the Twins organization, and maybe as a major leaguer as a whole?
Yeah, so this year was kind of up and down for me. I played really well at AAA when I was there. I had a lot of success there, and then my time in the big leagues kind of where it put me mentally was like I had enough success to know that I'm good enough to do it and good enough to do it consistently, but I didn't have enough success to think that I could have the success that I want to have without making some adjustments and some changes and working really hard this offseason. So I like where I'm at heading into next year. Just talking to our front office, I'm gonna have the opportunity to win a job in spring training, which is really all you can ask for. Go in, prepared for this off season and perform in the spring camp and perform in the games there and try to force my way onto a team and hit well enough to give somebody or not give anybody a choice, but go in a lineup every day. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's what my goal is, and that's what my plan is. Just go in and play, perform like I can, and force my way onto a team.
Yeah, the way I've always looked at it as a coach is if you hit, they're gonna find a place where you play. Of course, you play in the American League. It gives you 9 hitters. Currently, there's some talk that they're making all across the board. They may go designated hitter, but for sure being an American leaguer right now, that's 9 spots and primarily a left fielder. And, but if you hit, they're going to find a place, and if you produce, and the one thing that you have demonstrated is the ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark, and it's just not little wall scrapers. I've seen some mammoth shots that you hit. Is being successful in staying at the big leagues, what's that going to take from you is the consistency part. How do you get to that point of consistency?
Yeah, so my carrying tool is always going to be power, right? It's going to be for me to have success and be the player I want to be, and have the career I want to have. I have to hit doubles, I have to hit home runs. That's what I do well. That's what I'm going to have to continue to do well to stay up there for as long as I want to do. So with that just comes the ability to learn to make adjustments from a hitting perspective and learn to kind of battle with pitchers and figure out what they're going to do, how they're going to pitch me, what adjustments they're going to make against me, and what I have to do to kind of counteract that and put myself in the best position to do that, to drive balls in the gap and over the fence and drive in runs, because that's what I'm going to need to do. So obviously just kind of, I struck out a little too much last year for what I want to do, so cut down on that a little bit, make a little bit more contact, because looking at all of my advanced stuff and you get into the analytics and stuff like that, when I make contact, it's very good contact. I hit the ball hard, I hit the ball to correct launch angles. I give myself a ton of success, or a ton of chances to have success with my batted ball statistics. So if I can do that a little bit more consistently, maybe take a few more walks and cut down the strikeouts a little bit, I should put myself in a pretty good position to do what I want to do.
Yeah, if history's any indication, you're going to figure it out. Going from the 19th ranked player out of 20 at Mississippi State to a first round draft pick, National Player of the Year. This is really going into your 3rd year as a big leaguer. My money's on you. I really feel like from what I know about you, I think that this year is going to be your opportunity to prove where you're at.
Yeah, I think so too. I have a ton of confidence in myself. I kind of have this history and this pattern of getting to a new level, struggling for a little bit, and kind of figuring it out and excelling. And I don't think this is going to be any different. I did that in college. I did it kind of at every step along the minor league path, where I'd get promoted and I'd struggle for 50 to 100 bats, and I'd figure it out and excel, and go on to the next level, kind of do the same thing. So I'm very confident in myself to kind of make the adjustments I need to do and need to make, and learn the things I need to learn to have the type of success that I want to, and be a very good big leaguer for a long time.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening. Last question I have for you. Where does athleticism come from? I know it didn't come from your dad.
I think it's all my mom.
That's
what I've been told.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my mom and the grandparents, I think. My dad definitely had nothing to do with it.
Not a lick of it. So, well, Brent, I appreciate you being here and spending a little bit of time with us, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck, and can't think of anybody better to represent the area of Memphis and as a big leaguer, and I know you're going to do well.
Thank you very much.
Best of luck.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Enjoyed it.
Hey, Jeff Duncan here. Just wanted to let you guys know that I'm hosting my 5th annual hitting camp this January 15th and 16th with Coach Turtle Thomas of the Texas Rangers. We've done a camp here in Collierville in the Memphis area for the last 5 years, and it continually grows every year. So this year we're going to have it at the Collierville High School indoor facility on January the 15th and 16th. It's going to be a 4-hour format on Saturday and Sunday. We will do 1 hour of defense on Sunday and 7 hours of hitting. So for $200, you get 8 hours of instruction. We'll have several local professionals from the Memphis area here. that you guys can relate to. So please reserve your spot. Call me at 827-9562.